Hi and welcome to the Average Tabletop Gamers. On this episode we're going to be looking at Wave 1 expansions for the Judge Dredd miniatures game from Warlord. Hi there, I'm Ben.
And I'm Ian.
And on this episode, as we said, we're going to look at Wave 1 of the Judge Dredd miniature game expansions from Warlord Games. Lots of words, no full stops.
So the game based on the Judge Dredd movie of the same name from a few years ago.
With Stallone.
With Stallone, exactly.
It's
the only one that anyone really counts.
Yeah, brilliant movie.
I joke, of course.
It's terrible!
Shut up in the back cheap seats. No, I love it actually. I think it's a great movie. Genuinely.
We'll discuss this not on air. People are here to see the miniatures, not us debate which movie.
Or fight. So let's have a look at these then. Yeah, let's get down to business. So you'll have seen in our last film, Sven and Gary go through the box set, the starter set that you get from Warlord Games, for £50. I think it's an unbelievable bargain. Cracking result.
So, in terms of what you get in the box, the value for money, everything else, I think another good, as Gary I think exuded, another good job from Warlord.
Good job, Warlord. Let's see if they've managed to keep it going with these bits.
Right. So shall we start with the ones that we want to unbox?
Let's go through them all first.
So we've got the Judge Dredd Block Gang. Now this is the 8 miniatures that you get in the main box, except it's metal versions of them. And I'll just pop. We won't bother unboxing those because I saw those miniatures last time.
So is this to do with the production issue that Warlord had, where they couldn't keep up with demand from the pre-orders, so they had to?
That's what I understand. I think they were quite surprised with the uptake on it, which I think it is surprising itself because I guess Dredd being one of the main, if not the biggest in 2000 AD. I mean, I'm a huge fan.
One of the biggest in British comics.
Actually, yeah, I think
him and Dennis the Menace, and then after that, you're pretty much done.
What's 43 years?
77. Yeah, 1977.
So 43 years.
Yeah. I remember my nan not letting me own the first copy, the first issue.
Well, I can remember my first.
She didn't like the look of it.
My first was one of the monthlies when they collected some of the stories, and it was a Cassandra Anderson. I
was about to make a really inappropriate joke there, but let's move on.
Moving on.
So what else have we got then? So we've done the Block Gang. That's the Block Gang. There they are. They're the metal versions of the first box.
And they're £20. I'm getting told from our production department.
Thank you,
£20. Yeah. And to go with them, three extra little metal minis, different to the ones that are already in there, which is the Block Gang reinforcements, which are like a £10 expansion in what is essentially a bigger card box. So another 3 nice little minis.
So that does put your initial box set up. Pop them there. I think they fit round about there-ish. And that's them on the back there. So yeah, again another nice little set there. Right, what have we got down here? So let's remove all the perps off to one side first.
So I've got all the perps.
You've got all the perps. No surprise. So we've got 2 boxes to start with. There we go. We've got Dredd and Street Judges. I'll show you the backs of them there. So the Street Judges, we've got 5 of Mega City 1's finest, and the Dredd, where you get Joe and his bike.
Which I think that's a pretty good 2 little sets. Our production department will be it's coming in. So the Street Judges are £20.
£20. That's 5 of them for £20. £4 a model.
That's not bad. And Judge Dredd on his bike is
15.
I'm getting 15. £15.
Again. That's not bad actually.
We might be milking that a little bit.
No. Remember, we're the talent. So, what have we got in here? Let's have a look at Joe and his bike. Right, there's the first thing that we like.
Cards. Now, this is what Gary was saying in the previous...
Cheers, Vaz.
Oh, Vaz again.
Going to make Vaz famous.
This is what Gary was saying in the previous one, is he was wondering if they were going to do the sensible thing and put more cards in with the boxes, and it looks like not only do we have stat cards, but we've got some extra Big Meg and maybe some armory cards. So let's have a look. So yeah, we've got stats for the Lawmaster, we've got stats for Judge Dredd, and we've got an armory card and one Big Meg card. I think that's really good. So obviously Dredd's got the same stats whether he's on his bike or not, and then you get stats for the bit of equipment is the Lawmaster.
Does it not get better?
That's really, really clever. I like that.
So looking at these casts, so again they are the plasticised resin that the guys were on about in the last one. The Dredd on his bike, he's a little he's a little wobbly.
So they did seem some concerns about the resin when we.
There's a bit of flashing on there, but it doesn't look too bad. Whereas the bike, the Lawmaster, is classic old school hard resin.
It's unfortunately not a classic old school Lawmaster though, as I was looking at on the back of the box.
But that's really nice. It's proper resin from certain other companies. So we'll pop that down there. We can see if we can see that. It comes in 2 parts.
They're nice, but they're quite, I want to say, simple. Certainly these resin miniatures, like because you painted my Strontium Dog miniatures, and they were loaded with, they were beautiful miniatures.
Beautiful paint as well.
Oh, the paint job was stunning. Thanks, mate.
Super, anytime. These, again, they're nice, but this wobbly resin, I'm not a big fan of the wobbly resin.
So is that as flat as the one that I think?
No, so it doesn't look like it's as flat a cast as the other ones, but it's not brilliant.
No, and there's a little bit on the actual day stick that's gonna.
Yeah.
You're gonna struggle to take that size of flash off.
But have a look at that bike and just see what's. Although the handlebars for it are wobbly resin as well. But the quality, there's nice and detailed. There's plenty going on with those minis.
I'll be interested to see the street judges, but there's no mistaking the chin on that miniature.
We'll put that over there with them.
Yeah, let's have
a look at these street judges then. Again, we've got 5 Warlord bases, and some more wobbly resin. More cards.
More cards.
You're good with the cards.
I like
so what we've got here is 5 street judges in different poses. Again, the quality's nice. There's plenty of detail on them. It's nice and deep. But then some of this casting's not ideal. There's massive casting lines down the sides on these that are kind of, I don't know if you can see that in the shadow there. So you've got the piping down the side of the leg, and then a really noticeable casting mark. But the actual poses are quite cool.
I know we're mainly here to look at the miniatures, but you've given me cardstock, which is basically got rules on it.
Yes.
So one of the criticisms certainly I felt in the Strontium Dog game, which Sven and Gary touched on, was the balance.
Yes.
Where the few games we played, it really felt the Strontium Dogs were just there was no real challenge. They just rolled the other team. And looking at Dredd, I was like, well, actually, how are they going to do this? And I think they've tried to balance by putting more street judges in, but then you get into do you still just get into the, not everything is an epic showdown between Dredd and 8 or 9
absolutely.
Tubes. It's really interesting. I'm just looking through the cards here for the judges. I think they've done it in a really clever way. So looking here, Dredd's 35 points, but they've given you 4 different ways to play those judges. So you could be a judge, which is you're not a rookie, but you're just qualified. You're not even on the street. And Judge Dredd is basically worth 3 of them, almost.
Okay.
You've got street judge, you've got veteran street judge, and you've got senior street judge. So you actually get even
so
senior
you do
street.
get...
Yeah. and even a senior street judge is nowhere near Dredd.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can actually build up, and I don't know what the points level you'd play would be, but you can actually build up your forces quite nice. I really like it, and
a few of these down there.
I'm in full agreement with what Gary said. I think these cards are brilliant. So you've got your stats on one side, and you've got all your kit on the other. It's like a mini role-play character sheet. Is what it is.
So it's quite so, because I know they were talking about not knowing if there was other games out there that do it. Star Wars Legion uses a similar mechanic in how it's how you get all your stats and your cards there. Do you want to look at the street judges or you?
No, I was kind of having a look at them over your shoulders. You're doing it, so
they're all right. They're not. So they're nice, but they're not.
No,
they don't really kind of jump out and.
Do you think that's an element of with the popularity and how much they had to get out? Is it a bit rushed? Have they rushed the technique, or is it? Because you mean, as Gary keeps saying, the modern techniques for putting these things together. Yeah, you're getting really. That's quite old. That's quite almost old-fashioned. You know, that's kind of what you would expect from older miniatures. Yeah. So kind of the older-fashioned miniatures would be the metallics, like the what they've done here with the block gangs would be the metallics inside of things, and that's a very old-fashioned technique. Resin's obviously the new technique, but it might have been a rush to get everything out for the pre-orders that the mixes aren't ideal or something like that. So, shall we have a look at some of the? Let's have a look at these as well. The fatty. So one of the reasons I wasn't too taken with this when it was originally put out, and part of that was influenced by the experiences with the Strontian Dog game. Part of it was
they look better.
I guess I was so into Dredd for so long. I got a little bit burnt out on it.
Yeah.
But it's why when we get them, I'm quite interested in the arch villains. So the more so you've got kind of.
I genuinely think they've heat sealed this pack.
that one pack.
This one pack. These fatties are heat sealed in.
Nice.
Yeah, they've heat sealed them in. So I can only look at them from the outside, but they genuinely look beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are superb. They're perfectly cast. They're that proper casting resin. Great job.
And they've not held back, have they? They've really gone for Dredd fatties as well.
£20 for those.
Oh, I love the detail of the. Well, I'm getting old. I'm actually having to look over the top of my hair. I love the detail of. They've actually got their proper little food trays as well.
Yeah.
Their belly wheels.
Let's stick them down for a look. See.
Or Sven's going to show us how to actually open a box.
So not heat sealed. Embarrassingly not heat sealed. They did look heat sealed, and nothing I was doing was helping there. But not heat sealed by the looks of things.
Get off!
I'm a professional, you know. But yeah, these are absolutely superb, these fatties. With the exception that there's one small sprue which is done with wobbly resin. So there we go.
I'm sorry, that wasn't very professional. But all three fatty stats are on one card. But there are 3 different levels of fatty. Would you like to know what the 3 levels of fatty are?
I think that's where the humour is.
So, at the lowest level, you have a fatty.
Yes.
After that, given how they're eating, you have a contender.
Okay.
Top level, prime porker.
Prime porker. Of course there is.
And just because I'm going to continue basing everything against Judge Dredd stats, you could have 11 fatties for Judge Dredd.
That appeals to me. Okay, right, go on then. Let's do those 2 boxes.
So these are arch.
And get ourselves off screen because we're being heckled already.
I know, and I don't know why. I think we're doing a cracking job.
I think we're doing brilliantly.
Arch villains and denizens of Megacity 1. Now I really like these boxes. So I think in terms of the Judge Dredd's the biggie. The actual fatties lovely. The judges really nice. They don't. I think because they were in a lot of the stories, so they were quite generic. They don't evoke particularly strong memories for me. But the villains, because they tended to be such focused on like one of the big mega epics or something, I look at every one of those miniatures and I can instantly go, oh, I remember this specific story.
It's the villains
from
that
them.
the interesting part of Mega City 1.
And these are metals as well, so I'm hoping...
So you know, judges, with the exception of Dredd, judges are very generic. You know, there's a few that kind of stand out, Hershey, Giant, etc. But the judges are very generic, kind of, you know, they're all very much of a muchness. It's the villains that really make Mega City 1 pop, as it were.
And also, when you really think about it... I was moving past that. Yeah. When you really think about all the mega epics and how many judges die during them...
Double Vaz packed.
Double Vaz. The judges really should have died out a long time ago.
Yeah, realistically. Okay, so who have we got in there? So they're metals, are they?
So we have the big bad of the Dredd universe, for one of better one, the never-ending, you cannot kill what does not live, Judge Death, and that is a lovely miniature.
Yeah, some good work gone into that. Nice cast as well.
Star of many of the great mega epics, Judgment Day. No, not Judgment Day across, Necropolis, and anything with the Dark Judges. Only one Dark Judge though out so far. Another 3 to come at some point.
Yeah, I've seen them advertised. They're on their way. So
you have Judge Grice there.
Judge Grice, another classic
from the Inferno. He was a senior judge who, and not to oversimplify it, had a falling out with Dredd, got sent to Titan, the judge prison, and then took it over and some chaos.
An epic tash.
He did grow an epic tash. Mean Machine Angel, the last surviving member of the Angel Gang, basically the Cursed Earthers, think it Mad Maxy for any of you who don't know Dredd that well.
And least interesting of the Angel Gang.
Absolutely. Think Angel, he was my favourite. Nero Narcus from the second Robot War. I'm being a real nerd here. The Doomsday scenario, where a lot of judges died. Took over robots, sabotaged the lawgivers, there's terrible things.
Spoilers!
And one of my all-time favourite Dredd
Spoilers,
baddies...
Mr. President.
I don't care, if you've not read it, you've had your chance. One of my all-time favourite baddies in one of those all-time classic poses. You've got Orlok, the East Meg Assassin, from the Blockmania story, where he led into the Apocalypse War.
Such a great story.
With a little...
with a little?
I forget its name. Oh, that's terrible. Little Russian satellite. Satellite, there we go.
Shoot it, George.
I don't need you in my ear because you're just shouting out from off screen. So that box set, for those five lovely miniatures, and they are some really, really nice miniatures there. The Archvillains pack is £24. And I would say well worth it. Those are some beautiful, beautiful miniatures.
Yeah.
And all
that's probably my favourite pack so far.
That's definitely mine.
And in this one, Denizens of Mega City 1. Again, it's a resin set. It's wobbly resin, but it's quite hard. Maybe they cast these like early. Yeah, very odd how they've managed to get the resin mixes so weirdly off. But we've got, now I'm not as good as this as Ian there. So we've got there's a footsie. So heard we have Carl Raider, the Vigilante. Ulla Blint, Angel of Mercy.
One of the most successful serial killers in 2000 AD.
Mega City 1, you mean? East Meg Agent.
You always have to show me up.
Well, you shouldn't be so bad at this. A footsie, which is a...
he is a person suffering from future shock. He's gone a little bit mad because of all the future tech and stuff in Mega City 1.
And here we have Homer Blint Backglider. They're really nice as well.
Oh, they're lovely miniatures.
So again, that's a £20 set for those 5. So you're looking at roughly £3 to £4 a mini, £4 a mini.
Yeah.
roughly across the whole range.
So you're back to, what are those like for casts? Or are they?
They're actually really nice. So some of them, the resin's really nice and hard, and there's no movement on them. The sculptures are really solid. There's a little flashing on them, etc. And then some of them are just not quite as clean, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, because the Ula Blint one, the Angel of Death, that's a really
it's
nice,
a really
clean
interesting.
miniature.
Yeah, it's a really interesting look. You know, this Carl Raider. There's some lovely little touches on his.
And
yeah, so that is the whole of the first wave of releases for Judge Dredd, I Am the Law skirmish box game. All in, I think if you bought the box set and then each of these individually, well, we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 124, £139 for all of that. If you bought it all as one big lump at retail value, but obviously, you know, there are going to be deals out there that you can still pick it up nice and cheap.
Yeah.
I think it's lovely. I think it's a really pretty looking game. I think it's going to be really interesting to play. Unlike Strontium Dog, I think the variety that the villains are going to present will make the game really interesting.
I suspect at the moment, and you know, this will be the thing that always falls over for me when I just make a promise and then don't hold through, is I think I look forward to playing it. I don't feel encouraged to buy anything for it yet.
I think we're lucky in the fact that, you know, we've got all of it already.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to some of the future packs. I'd be really interested in a Britsit box, and really interested in Chopper. I think because Chopper was always my guy. So I'm looking forward to them coming out. So until that, I really like it. I think we've made a nice mess here. We've had a lovely look at these things. It looks like a really interesting game. I'm looking forward to getting some of it painted and getting it played. And if you want to see what that looks like, have a look down here. Down there where all of the things with the places where we are when we're not doing this are. So our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're watching this, you already know about YouTube. So well done, good start. Hit the bell, which I think is about there. No, it's about there actually. Yeah, over there somewhere. So hit Ian's bell and get the thing. And don't worry about the thunderous noises from behind us.
That's just my cats.
That's his cats. So thanks a lot for joining us. It's been a really interesting look at kind of where Warlord are going as well in terms of their production values, moving away from hard plastic and metals more towards the resin side of things. So I'm kind of interested in what technology they can bring into that to make that casting process even better still. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. Social media's down there. Like, follow, subscribe. Tell your friends if you like it. Tell us if you don't. And we'll see you next time.